Well, good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, whatever your current life situation is. Hello, YouTube. This is Jeffrey Kite back again with another episode of Kite's Curiosities. Got some mail that came in over the past couple of months. I want to share with you guys. I got one coming out of West Palm Beach, Florida. Came in May. Here, this is no mystery here as to who this came from. The great Anthony Thompson, College Football Hall of Famer. We'll get to that one. It's a free address if you need one, folks. And then this one is parts unknown. And then that one, this one right here, is my first attempt at an international autograph request. Actually, it's my second one, but my first one ever to Canada using an international stamp. And I can't wait to show y'all that one. That was just tremendous. Oh, and I got one coming out of this one right here, Nashville, Tennessee. That was back in April of this year. As I told y'all in previous videos, I've opened up all these requests. I've looked at them, so I'm sorry there's not going to be any shock value or surprise or anything like that, because I've opened them up. I just, got real busy. I ain't had a chance to do a video and everything, so I had some time today. I thought to myself, let's get some TTM. Get some TTMs done. All right, so here we go. Let's start off with this one. These are all Hall of Famers, by the way. All Hall of Famers. This one coming out of Nashville, Tennessee. And it is from none other than Mr. Paul Overstreet. I want to give a little shout out to Caleb's Cards. He sends these country gold cards out. And I have never gotten one back. Caleb, I finally got one back, brother. Finally got one back. Let me tell y'all about Mr. Paul Overstreet. He is by far one of the, in my opinion, one of the greatest country music songwriters ever. A slew of #1 hits. He's written, I counted 13 #1 songs that he's co-wrote. In 1992, he won a Grammy Award for Best Country Song with the Judds' #1 hit song, Love Can Build a Bridge. The Judds sang that song, but Mr. Paul Overstreet here, he wrote it. He got him a Grammy for that. He's won multiple Dove Awards, which is for Christian music. He's won multiple awards for Academy of Country Music, the Country Music Association. Like I said, 13 #1 songs. He even wrote and performed a #1 song. He had a little recording career back in the early 90s, 91 and 92. He put out 2 studio albums. It did pretty good. In 91, he had an album called Heroes. And the #1 song from that album was Daddy's Come Around. It's a great song. I'm not going to embarrass myself and sing that song right now, but y'all check it out. Paul Overstreet, Daddy's Come Around. I bet if y'all Google it and listen to it, you'll recognize the sound. In 2003, he was inducted into the Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame. So happy to have this one back, Mr. Paul Overstreet. Get the glare off of that. All right, moving on. Let's see this one. We'll do this one right here. Coming out of Bloomington, Indiana, from Mr. Anthony Thompson. Anthony Thompson, he just spanked this one, boy. It looks so good. Look at that, look at that. Man, I love having this back. Such a huge huge piece to my collection because I'm trying to get another College Football Hall of Fame plaque of cards put together. Hopefully I'll be able to put that display together and showcase it on this channel. But Anthony Thompson, he was a running back for Indiana back from 86 to 89. And his freshman year, he was banged up a lot. He didn't play the first 6 games of the season. And finally got some playing action the 7th game of the season. But it was the 8th game of the year that Anthony really got to shine. They was playing Wisconsin. And he set a Big Ten freshman record by rushing for 207 yards against a very good Wisconsin team. Anthony, he'd go on to win the Big Ten Player of the Year award in 88 and 89. He was a consensus All-American in 88 and 89. In fact, 1989 was his big breakout year. He almost edged out Andre Ware for the Heisman Trophy. He did win the Maxwell and the Campbell Award in 1989. And he won those awards by leading the nation in rushing touchdowns, yards from scrimmage, led the nation in scoring. He scored 150 points that year. Led the nation in total touchdowns, had, what was it? It was 25, 26 touchdowns that season. He was a tremendous football player. And by the time he was done, he had an NCAA record of 68 touchdowns scored. That record has since been broken, but he was the first one to do it. First one to score 68 touchdowns in a 4-year career, 86, 87, 88, 89. And in 2007, he was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame. So happy to have this back, Mr. Anthony Thompson, on his beautiful 1990 score rookie card. And I chose this card because I was wanting to do College Football Hall of Fame, and it's got him in that beautiful Indiana Hoosiers jersey that he wore, number 32. All right. Woo, moving on here. Here's a big one. It's coming out of West Palm Beach, Florida. Got this back last week of May. And this had been out for a while. This had been out for a long time. But I knew it was going to take a while to come back because he takes a while. And hey, I don't mind it. Mr. Larry Walker. There it says right there, to Jeffrey, swing hard, Larry Walker. He always personalizes, but let me tell you something. Anytime you can get a Baseball Hall of Famer for free, do it. It's going to take a little bit because he gets flooded with some mail now. I assure you he gets flooded with mail. If he signs for free a Hall of Famer doing that, man, his mailbox must be full every day. But hey, get one out. And if you got some patience, send it out. You'll get it back. Let me tell you about Mr. Larry Walker, man. Those of you who don't know, Mr. Larry Walker, one of the greatest hitters of all time in baseball history. He started out with the Expos, as you see, his rookie year, 1990. In fact, a little personal story, he played in the very first baseball game that I ever went and saw live and in person. It was Atlanta Braves versus Montreal Expos in 1990. Can't remember what Larry did in that game, but I remember his teammate Mike Fitzgerald hit 2 home runs, I think, and won the game. And my favorite player, David Justice, hit a home run in that game. It was such a thrill that night. I really enjoyed it, and man, I've been hooked ever since. But going on to talk about Larry Walker, he led the National League in doubles in 1994, had 44 doubles that year. 1995, the Expos traded him over to the Colorado Rockies, and that's where he just exploded. his career just really took off. In 1997, he won the National League MVP award by leading the National League in home runs, on-base percentage, slugging, total bases. He hit .366 that season and didn't win the batting title. Didn't win the batting title. I found that just incredible. I think that was the year, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that might have been the year Tony Gwynn hit .394, something like that. I can't remember, but anyway, had an MVP season in 1997. And to show it wasn't a fluke, he followed up with his first batting title in 1998, hit .363 that season. Then he won the batting title again in 1999 with an average of .379. Then he won another batting title in 2001 where he hit .350. I mean, this Joker, he was on fire. Eventually, he went on to play with the Cardinals. And in 2004, helped them get to the World Series. So he did at least make the World Series. Had a monster game in the 2004 World Series. Game 1, 2004 World Series. He went 4 for 5 with 2 doubles, a home run, 2 RBIs, and a run scored. And that was just a classic slugfest. Red Sox, unfortunately, came out on top 11-9. In that game, and they eventually defeated the Cardinals in that series 4-0. But Larry, he hit .357 in that series, hit another home run in Game 3. So I mean, he at least made it to the series, and he had a good showing. So then in 2020, he was elected into the Baseball Hall of Fame. So excited to have this back, Mr. Larry Walker. I got more of his rookie cards. I might send the Donruss, the Fleer, the Tops, Upper Deck, and I think Leaf made a rookie card. I might go for all 6 of them, folks. What do y'all think? Should I try it and send out 1 a year? I might do that. 1 a year for the next 5 years. Try to get all of them. That's awesome right there. All right, moving on here. This one comes out of Parts Unknown. I don't know when I got this one. But this one has been out for a long time. I was ecstatic to get this back. I thought this was a goner. I thought he might have been in too bad of health to sign. But he blessed me with it. Mr. Dick Button. Let me give y'all a close-up on that autograph. It's tiny, but I at least got it back. So happy to have this one back. Mr. Dick Button on this, what is it? 1988. 1988 U.S. Olympic card. And commemorating him going into the United States Olympic Hall of Fame in 1983. Let me tell y'all about Dick Button. Dick Button, he was the first great male figure skater from the United States. At 18 years old. 18 years old. Think about, what were you doing when you were 18 years old? I was a little knucklehead working in a factory, trying to put myself through school, going to a junior college, working on an associate's degree, which is pretty industrious. But this man right here at 18 years of age, he simultaneously was holding the United States Championship, the North American Championship, the European Championship, the World Championship, and the Olympic gold medal. I mean, at 18 years old, he became the first, and to my knowledge to date, the only man ever to simultaneously hold every figure skating championship all at the same time. Tremendous athlete. He was the first figure skater in history to land a double axel. He did that in 1948. And in 1952, he was the first figure skater to ever land a triple loop. And both of those got him the gold medal in 48 and 52. He was also I don't want to call him a trendsetter, but inventor, I guess, or pioneer of figure skating, in that he invented the flying camel spin, which is kind of what he's doing on the front of this card. The flying camel spin is when you jump up in the air and you kind of come down and you start spinning and you kick your leg out like that, and you go around and around and around, and then you pull that leg back in and you get tighter and you spin, and then come back out and kick your leg out again. I mean, it's a standard, basically a standard move in all figure skating routines. And Dick Button was the first one to do it, and basically changed the history of not just U.S. figure skating, but world figure skating. So I'm very happy to have this back, Mr. Dick Button. So excited to have this back. He is, let's see, 94 years old. 94 years old, born in 1929, right? Yep, born July 18th, 1929. So he will be 94 years old here in a couple weeks. Awesome guy. And I know as people get older, their signatures get a little smaller. So I don't mind that at all. Mr. Dick Button, thank you so much for sending that card back. 4 Hall of Famers. We got one more. Yep, one more to go. And this is a big one. I got this one back today, and I about fell out of my seat when I got this. I've never tried international posters before. I tried it one time. I got Pele back in the old days before they had this postage stamp, and I think I sent it. I don't know what I did. I think I sent it, paid. Went down to the post office, had to put a big sticker stamp on it and go through a bunch of bells and whistles to get it back, and had to buy Brazilian postage to get it back. It was quite a doozy, but I got Pele back on a Allen and Ginter card. Maybe one day I can show that to y'all. But this one, tried the international stamp, didn't know how to use it. I've seen them on videos before. There's a young man named Mikey that sends a lot of hockey guys out, and his returns always come back on these international stamps. I said, I'm going to try it. So the key, if you want to send to a hockey player up in Canada or somebody up in Canada, all you need is one of these on the envelope that you're sending out, and then put one of these on your self-addressed stamped envelope, and you'll get it back just fine. Or at least I did with this return right here. These are about $2 a piece. With the postage increase, I imagine they about maybe $2.50, something like that. So they're pretty expensive stamps, but they do work. They do work. And let me tell you, I was floored when I got this one back. Let's see. There we go. Today, I got back one of the greatest hockey players of all time on one of the greatest teams of all time. And that is defenseman, Mr. Kevin Lowe, of those great Edmonton Oilers teams of the 1980s and going into the 1990 season, or ending in the 1990 season. This is the card that I sent him. I only sent him one card. When I send Hall of Famers, I only do one because, they get kind of stuffy when People send 2 or 3, they think you're going to sell them. But I've noticed if you send Hall of Famers one per request, you usually have pretty good luck. He signed not only this card, but he signed a 1990, 1990-91 O-Pee-Chee. This was a 89-90. Yeah, this was the 89-90 O-Pee-Chee. He signed a 1990-91 O-Pee-Chee. He signed a 1990-91 Score. And this. My hockey card collecting friends, y'all know what this is. This is that famed 1986 Kraft Foods charcoal drawing card set. These are beautiful cards. And I guess, I don't know, fill me in. If y'all grew up getting these as a kid, did they come in boxes of macaroni and cheese? Did they come in those 16, 24-ounce packs of sliced cheese? I would really love to know, because these are just gorgeous. Look at that signed. That is just beautiful. Evidently, it was like a little promo thing that you could get, and you get on the back, and it tells you how to get a big, like 16 by 20, a single print 16 by 20 of all these different players and all these different teams and stuff. And they were charcoal sketches. I couldn't find who the artist is. I'm going to do some more research about it. And you could get a big, giant poster-sized picture of the athlete that's on this card. And Kevin sent this to me. He put all those extras in there. I'm so thankful for your generosity, Mr. Lowe. I don't know if you'll ever see this video, but thank you so much for your kindness. Kevin Lowe, what can be said about him? I mean, just tremendous career. Oh, I don't know if I told y'all, Dick Button, Hall of Fame in the Olympics in the inaugural class of 1983. All right, sorry. I chase squirrels sometimes. But anyway, Kevin Lowe, tremendous career. He led the National Hockey League in games played for the 82-83, 83-84, and 84-85 season. Great defenseman. Was an original Edmonton Oiler. In fact, he scored the first goal in Edmonton Oiler history on October the 10th, 1979. Had a tremendous career. Won 5 Stanley Cups with the Edmonton Oilers in 84, 85, 87, 88, and 90. Then he went to the Rangers, got traded to the Rangers, helped them win a Stanley Cup in 1994. 1989, 1990, he won the Clancy Award for the National Hockey League. The Clancy Trophy is given to a player who demonstrates leadership, you're a great humanitarian, things like that. He was a defenseman, so he didn't score a lot. Scored 84 career goals, but the assists is where he was so valuable. 347 assists. And he went into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 2020, largely because his career was overshadowed by guys on that team like Wayne Gretzky, Mark Messier, Glenn Anderson, Paul Coffey. Those guys seem to grab all the headlines, but if you ask any of them, they will tell you our careers would not be what they are, and we would not have gotten where we were, historically wise, without this guy right here, Mr. Kevin Lowe. So thankful to have Kevin. Kevin Lowe in my collection. Not once, not twice, but 4 times I got Kevin Lowe. TTM. Folks, that's it. What do y'all think? As always, I'm going to do a little zoom in right there so you can see them all. Very nice. There we go. As always, folks, tell me what you think in the comments. Was this not a great Hall of Fame episode of TTM autographs? Man, oh man, I tell you, it was fun times here April, May, and in June here at the Kite House. As always, like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. Till next time, y'all take care now. Have a good one. Bye.